Welcome to the Transum Podcast, a monthly roundup of the new features on the transum.org website, providing mathematical puzzles, games, learning activities, and the ever-popular mathematics lesson starter of the day. Here's your host, John Tranter.
It seems such a long time since the last podcast, but here it is again to welcome the month of September 2015. I've had a wonderful summer. That's for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, of course, and managed to visit lots of places and catch up with old friends, but I've always had my laptop with me, so I found time to write more puzzles, quizzes and activities to add to the ever-growing Transum collection. Anyway, before I go any further, let's get straight to the puzzle. So this is to give you something to think about as you do your commute, or your exercise, or relax. So don't play all the way to the end of this podcast because the answer is there. And have a little pause if you wish to enjoy the challenge. So here we go. 3 very logical mathematicians walk into a bar. You'll have to change this to a sweet shop if you're telling it to your pupils. Anyway, the barman asks if they all wanted a drink. The first mathematician said, "I don't know." The second mathematician said, "I don't know." But the third mathematician said, "Yes, we do." Can you explain how the third mathematician could be so certain? Anyway, while you think about that, let me just mention some of the new activities created since the last podcast. The fractal mosaic activity is an interactive and animated version of the snowflake squares activity that has been in fun maths for a long time. A fractal-like pattern can be created by following a very simple set of instructions that is repeated a number of times. The end result makes excellent display work for your classroom. And while we're talking about display work, there's a new section has been added to Transum Mathematics called Maths on Display, which gives links to activities that students can do that lead to very pleasing display work. So have a look at that.
You are listening to the Transum Podcast.
Following the success of the bridge crossing starter, a challenge called Without Lifting the Pencil provides students with 6 designs that they have to decide whether they can trace without lifting the pencil off the paper. You know the idea. Instead of actually using pencil and paper, the Transum interactive version allows them to click dots, they're the nodes, to simulate the tracing and makes it easier for them to try many different routes quickly and not worry about making mistakes. A frequently asked questions section has also been added for subscribers, but thus far there aren't many questions. So if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me, please let me know and they may be suitable for including in that area. The plan is to add to it as time goes on. The One Torch Tunnel challenge has been added as an interactive page which I hope will be as popular as river crossings is, because that's very popular. I can see from the statistics that it gets lots and lots of hits every day. It's quite easy to get all 4 people through the tunnel, but not so easy to do it in the minimum amount of time which is stated. So have a go at that. A Fibonacci quest section has been added. The plan is to, over a period of time, add fascinating Fibonacci facts to these pages, but each new page will have an interactive aspect to it so that pupils learn by doing. The probability washing line is certainly not a new idea. Pupils are invited to hang out the washing, each containing a probability word, on a line stretching from impossible to certain. The software will check their attempts according to some very loose rules. It's a bit difficult to precisely know where each of the words should be hung on the washing line because the English language is a little bit vague in respect to precise probability values. So anyway.
You can find Transum Mathematics at www.transum.org.
There was nothing on the website up until now to practice telling the time, but now there is. Lots of analogue clocks with some mixed questions thrown in to level 4. As with other activities on the site, let me know if you think this section should be expanded. The answer to the puzzle asked at the beginning of the podcast is now coming up, so this is the time to pause if you don't want to know the answer. Okay, here's the answer. If the first mathematician did not want a drink, he would be certain that not all three wanted a drink, as there was at least one of them, himself, that did not. He would therefore have replied no instead of I don't know. The third mathematician was therefore sure that the first mathematician did want a drink due to his answer. The same argument can be applied to the second mathematician, who must have also wanted a drink. The third mathematician was quite certain that he himself wanted a drink, bringing the total to 3. And that's how he could be certain that when he gave his answer. Anyway, that's all for now. Enjoy September. And if it's the beginning of your school year, enjoy all that newness and new beginning enthusiasm that's around at the moment.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the Transum podcast. You can find the website at www.transum.org, where you're welcome to use all of the activities absolutely free, or jump in with both feet and become a Transum subscriber.